Paul Rubin will speak about water.
Thanks. My name is Paul Rubin. I'm a hydrogeologist who has, on a very limited basis, had the opportunity to examine portions of the Hudson River Valley property, as well as other off-property areas. I wish to make tonight some comments based on my assessment today. Most importantly, HRVR does not have the water supply they need for the project size they desire. Both the watershed tributary to the lake and the lake's outflow are far less than they project. As proposed, there is not sufficient water to meet project demand. The watershed tributary to Williams Lake is only about 2 times the size of the lake itself, perhaps less. Their depiction of the watershed area tributary to the lakes is far too large. The reason for this is that their watershed includes land areas with underlying groundwater elevations considerably lower than the surface of Williams Lake. For example, HRVR has included land in the watershed area of Williams Lake where they have recorded groundwater elevations up to 19 feet lower than the surface of Williams Lake. Clearly, this groundwater cannot flow upward to feed Williams Lake. Yet, HRVR requires water from these areas to provide their needed project water. Clearly, these areas must drain to locations outside the Williams Lake watershed. In addition, an elongate vertical mine present through a significant portion of the watershed area almost certainly shunts groundwater away from Williams Lake, not towards it. Thus, HRVR has significantly overestimated the area that contributes water to their planned water supply, thus making much less water available for development purposes. They have not provided one of the most important items that should be associated with any major project, a groundwater contour map with flow directions supported with scientifically defensible hydrologic data. It's not there. HRVR has not conducted the hydrologic testing needed to determine groundwater flow paths present in bedrock formations, some with and some without rapid groundwater flow. The scoping document calls for this. It is likely that once they do their work, they will document potential contaminant flow toward endangered bat hibernacula, the green kill, and a significant New York State wetland. A serious problem here is that HRVR has, until only recently, steadfastly and erroneously claimed that their property has no karst features such as sinking streams, sinkholes, a disappearing lake, Fourth Lake, and caves. Thus, they have not fulfilled scoping issues that require them to conduct valid, meaningful groundwater tracing tests to determine groundwater flow directions and receptors. Failure to conduct this work has not permitted them to correctly characterize the site's hydrogeology and important environmental risks. They have not collected valid or sufficient lake outflow data to document that there's adequate water to support their project site. They have overestimated the lake outflow volume needed to support their project and have not acknowledged, at least in the DEIS, that the lake commonly has no outflow at all for extended periods of time, for at least 56 days in 2010. Remember, they're counting on this outflow for their project. Comparison of hydrologic conditions present in U.S. Geological Survey gauged area-wide streams documents that the required dry conditions occur frequently. They're not random, they're not rare, they're almost yearly. While there are times that Williams Lake does have reasonably high outflows, they tend to be very short-lived. Unless new post-DEIS data has been collected, the data that forms the basis of HRVR's water availability has no value. It should be discarded, and new scientifically defensible data should be collected. And if they use any new data that comes out between the DEIS and the new FEIS that we understand has been submitted today, then this should also be put out for public review and comment, not finalized in an FEIS. When real flow data is examined, daily project water demand far exceeds average daily water availability, probably by a factor of at least 2. This will readily translate into more lake water withdrawal than is replenished each year, which will lead to mining of the lake and degradation of the lake and adjoining state wetland. Every year, the lake level will go down more and more. There's not enough water to bring it back up. So they seek to use a claimed excess lake outflow to help dilute their post-treatment contaminant load, another issue. The water quality present in the small stream they plan to discharge their waste effluent into will likely be irreparably degraded. In addition, for those of you familiar with that stream where there's a dam going down Binnywater Road, there are several small wetlands along its course. Those go up to about 2.2 acres in size. The larger wetland there, it's used by a lot of animals, red-shouldered hawk, which is a species of special concern, various turtles, beaver, great blue heron, and other species. In their DEIS, and there's no information on this, they have not characterized the flow in the small stream they plan to use to discharge their waste stream. Similarly, they have not characterized the wetland and stream ecology that may be adversely impacted from their effluent waste stream. And now, I've raised a lot of issues here that we don't know about the site. There's a lot of material in the DEIS that's not there hydrologically. There's no sound basis to say they have enough water for the project. And with that, I would like to add another comment here, because it's important. You're the community. On a number of occasions, site access has been requested to examine hydrologic and geologic material addressed in the DEIS. This has not been granted. This is not in the best interests of the project or the community. There are still many unresolved hydrologic issues that need to be addressed by a karst hydrogeologist so that project design and layout do not adversely impact nearby hibernacula of endangered bats. Even at this late date, we would welcome the opportunity to work with HRVR to properly assess the site's vulnerable karst hydrology and environmental risks to bat hibernacula, to groundwater resources, and the greenkill. Here again, tonight, we seek site access to assess the site's hydrogeology with emphasis on protecting the habitat of an endangered species. Thank you.